Wrong Orc have elected to take us back to Volskaya Foundry and Bahamut. If we don't see an Abathur ban on here, my concern for FWC increases exponentially.
I'm wondering if they do, if they try and run the same kind of composition, because it worked really well and it didn't seem like they really cared what was drafted into them. They just took those heroes and made it work extremely well. And maybe that's a confidence thing. Maybe they knew what they were getting into. Maybe they had saw the games that we had casted previously and were waiting for this. So they were like, all right, we feel confident with this. It is a best of 3 series. So you do kind of have that, if you want to take that risk and, you know, say like, all right, well, we could lose with this, but let's try it for fun. Or maybe, you know, we're on stream, so hey, let's show off. I don't know if it's one of those, but even in a best of 3, there is that option to, you know, always come back. So, you know, you never know. I mean, we could see some crazy plays out of FWC esports, and, you know, maybe they take a game here, maybe they even advance. We'll have to find out here, but looks like teams we're getting all set here, and I can't wait to get into this Volskaya game and see if we get another interesting draft. Do we get a Cho'Gall? Do we just get triple specialist? What is it?
I mean, right now, Wrong Orc looks to be rather confident in themselves. I would not be surprised at all to see them go back to the Abathur wall if it's made available or left available to them. But again, FWC, they would be well served. They're the ones pressing the buttons. We're just up here talking about it. But if this isn't an Abathur ban, and if they don't take Abathur first, maybe they got an Abathur player themselves. It could get rough. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, they take out the URL. We didn't actually even see it in the last game, or the game. Has Wrong Orc played URL? No, we haven't seen them play URL at all. So it's
there we go.
Okay, all right. Well, it's the logical decision. You go ahead and take that away from the opposing team. And see, now here's the thing just out of curiosity, just, you know, while we have this moment really quick. If someone on the opposing team first picks your hero that you wanted to play or your favorite hero, do you like instantly just go like, we are going to body you because that's my hero? Or like, do you ever get that kind of aggression when it comes into things like this?
In very few instances. Like on Battlefield of Eternity, if I want to play Artanis and I don't get Artanis, then I'm like, all right, I gotta hard dumpster these kids, because you can't just take my Artanis away. Maybe there's that kind of territorial mindset over the Abathur also. Zergling played a pretty strong Abathur. I'm not going to lie. Got a lot of value out of the hero, but we do see that Sylvanas picked up, again, solid choices picked right out of the beginning. Lock them in. Let's not even think about it. Wrong Orc. They have a strategy. They're ready to play it.
I'm excited about it. Now, the thing is, if the members of FWC esports saw the draft, they will either take out the Azmodan. I mean, I wouldn't say it was the biggest play for them, but it offered a lot into the siege potential. And the question here is, what are they going to change out that Abathur with? Do they still go into this composition? Because it seems like it's already going down that avenue. They've already got the Murden still. They've got the Sylvanas. But overall, I mean, let's actually go into the draft here. The ban wise, if I was on the side of Wrong Orc, I'd be looking to take out a support, because they're probably not going to solo support Abathur. I wouldn't imagine it myself.
Yeah, that would be daring against a team like Wrong Orc. And I think this is why we're starting to see them take some of this time to really decide how they want to do it. Because if they ban a support, it would be interesting if FWC kind of fell on their own sword as far as supports goes. Like, all right, well, if you ban Malfurion away from us, we'll just ban Deck of Cain, so you can't get a top support. And it's like, well, what's left for us? Because Kharazim didn't look that convincing to me. Ultimately, it's going to be the Jaina ban. FWC, they look across the aisle. You got your frontliner. You got your back line, so to speak, with Sylvanas. Who do we look to take away?
And the Jaina ban is perfect. We talked about in the last draft of how you get the bonus stacks from the Abathur clone as well. You don't want to offer that burst for the enemy team to have double Jaina walk onto these points, or even then double Garrosh. I mean, it's, you know, it is drafted, and like double Garrosh is terrifying. You get, you know, you can toss one person to the other Garrosh and almost toss them even further again. So
you know what I call it?
What?
The double Garrosh? I call it Saturday afternoon at the park with your dad throwing the ball around. This is the old casual pitch and catches. It's like, oh, we're having a good time out here, son. I'm having a blast.
Hey, son Garrosh, let me toss you this Sylvanas over here. Oh, thanks, Dad Garrosh.
Here's the ban. All right, cool.
Yeah, we do have the hammer being banned out at this point, though. looking at the wonky composition that they've already started with, they were just like, well, we don't want to have that siege potential from Hammer, and with the Sylvanas being able to shut down towers, that is not a horrible idea. I mean, it's something that we saw a long time ago, and hey, it could have some resurgence. Hammer has a ton of play lately, but we'll see what these next two picks are. They're gonna need a main support. They're gonna need some damage as well.
I get the Hammer ban. Zeratul life is going to be made easier, not having to worry about the range of siege mode. But I was really thinking we'd see a Dahaka ban. If there was any consideration given to the earlier portions of the evening from what we saw, Wrong Orc knows how to play Dahaka.
That's true.
Play him pretty well. But ultimately, they're going to go for Blaze for their solo laner. And it's time for a drink with Deckard King.
Interesting. And the other thing too is I wonder if maybe they don't put the pressure onto the Dahaka because on Volskaya Foundry, it's just the burrow points. There aren't enough of that. Like I've played it, and at least for me, like I struggle with Dahaka on this map mostly because of the fact that not a lot of good bushes there are some good bushes to burrow into, but you don't have some of those for the meandering factor to kind of speed up between the lanes. And I don't know, it's one of those things like he's strong, but I worry about if it's like, all right, I wonder if we can take something a little bit better for this brawl. But we actually see a Kael'thas coming out with a Malfurion, and I haven't seen Kael'thas in quite some time.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise to me because it's not like there's a ton of appeal for Kael'thas or Malfurion. I'm wondering if they're gonna go Twilight Dream as a potential deterrent. If Kael'thas doesn't have a hit of Gravity Lapse that saves his bacon, heroes like Murden, Sylvanas, and Blaze, they're gonna have a pretty good time jumping on the net. One hero to select now for Wrong Orc, who see all the options on the table. I would not be surprised to see a Greybane. Nesper did really well with that. He plays a range of melee assassins. We saw Valeera last game, and I submit to you, Bahamut, it wouldn't be the worst selection here either.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with that. Something to maybe get on that Abathur, something to make their life a living hell here, just to maybe push in that lane and force them further back, and they're not able to push up here. I wonder if that's the route. Do you go, or do you just go to that?
Oh,
okay. I like this actually. It's great for the Tychus has a really good opportunity with the Commandeer Odin for sieging and anti-sieging and just pushing into people and also kind of poking at these points and kind of weakening them. So I really like that pickup. It's just the Sylvanas is a bit of an outlier for me at this point with their draft. It seems like they wanted to go down that route before, but maybe they changed their direction. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it plays out. Or maybe they just say they're just like, Sylvanas on this map with Possession and Mercenary Queen is just way too strong to ignore, and you get way too much value with the items as well.
I mean, they played it pretty well.
Oh yeah,
we saw it earlier, and it was picked up early. Then also, the Tychus pickup is a scathing indictment on Garrosh's ability to play the game on the front line. That percentage-based damage is not going to go well for him. And even when you have Malfurion for support, it's not like you necessarily have a ton of burst-style sustain. So the Tychus pick is definitely going to be questioning the integrity of Garrosh's ability to be on the front line and then potentially peel for Kael'thas. But we're about to see. Game number 2. On the left side, we have Wrong Orc. Zanehyde is playing Murden. Nesper's on Sylvanas, circling. Be looking at Jet Propulsion on Blaze. Then Tori's on Deckard Cain. And Talking Trees playing that Outlaw Tychus.
And on the right-hand side, we are going to be having FWC esports trying to take us to a game number 3 with Flyest Raven on the Zeratul. Redder going to be on the Malfurion. Croven going to be on the Kael'thas. McNulty going to be on the Garrosh, and Atkinson rounding it out on that Slug Abathur.
Zeratul's going to be one of those X-Factor playmakers. We saw Valeera last game be used. Stealth heroes seem to be part of the overall strategy of FWC esports. A lot more mobility on this hero compared to Valeera, but they don't have the silence and potential stun. Let's see what kind of value they end up getting.
We do currently have just some clear in this mid lane. Everyone just posturing up. No fights breaking out just yet. There will be the toss and stun onto Zanehyde here. McNulty going to be skipping around that that Stormbolt and also getting the spray out at the exact same time. Just, hey, by the way, I can kind of walk around your Stormbolts. But rotation is going to be coming up between mid and top. Looks like we'll have the Murden anchoring that. But meanwhile, in bottom lane, we'll have Flyest Raven into Zergling, and I'm not sure how the solo lane matchup's going to work out.
It could be a little rough. Zeratul is a surprisingly effective solo laner if he's not necessarily harassed the whole lot. His wave clear is pretty decent for what his main point is for his kit. The Zerglings is going to be able to continue to apply consistent pressure and have his own self-sustain, acting as an outright bully. Stormbolt just goes in and just misses. Flies Raven. McNulty's going to get knocked off the mount to secure the disengage for a cheeky HeroesHype.
That it was potential for a really bad play there, or just getting caught out there as the Stormbolt got denied by the gate, and that would have, if it passed through the gate, I think that would have been a different story for Zeratul there. Overall, Talking Trees and friends are going to continue to rotate through these lanes, and a little bit of an experience going over in favor for them. We're starting to see that kind of separation, and that we'll have to keep an eye on that as this progresses here. But once again, still have that solo lane working out between these two, and Flash are even pushing this up a little bit. Meanwhile, the camp will be grabbed by Kael'thas and Malfurion, if I'm not mistaken, for the top lane, just to push that in. But we still have another minute before the first objective will be popping, so it might be a little bit early to grab that camp.
Abathur continues to provide value for the team, drops some mines down over the support camp. So if we do see a rotation from Wrong Orc, the Worm's gonna know about it. HeroesHype, they go over there, touch that, hit the mine, decided to think better of it. Rotated away, Garrosh was there. Nantori Talking Trees, they want to pick up the siege camp, but camp is already picked up for FWC esports. Look to throw their weight around a bit up top. But Sylvanas is a hero in this game, so that's not gonna get too much value.
They get the clear onto that fairly easily, as this first control point will be unlocking in the next 20 seconds. The rest of the team will be helping with that, and overall, it's a fairly, I mean, there's really no big difference between the levels at this point, and no kills out just yet. Zergling gonna have to back off a little bit, also gonna have to pop that armor, making sure they stay alive, so that will be on cooldown, I think, as this objective starts, but they should have it back up by the time the fight breaks out. Overall, though, I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Abathur split off into a lane, get that body soak, get that hat soak in another lane. But Nantori grabbing this camp at the right time, just making sure that they have that pressure, is a very good aspect. McNulty gonna just move people around this point, but a lot of damage going out on them. The Indomitable being used, but won't be getting killed just yet.
Talking Trees is able to melt off the face of McNulty with that minigun. Forces Garrosh to back away. Not able to throw him out of position, but hits the well, gets some healing from Red Sword, back at it. Also is Talking Trees. Hits the running gun to just juke the gravity lapse. Circling, trying to throw down the fire from Blaze. 33% in Rising, though. When do we see the heavy engagement? Or do we?
Well, the Abathur is currently in top, and will need to be... Actually, we have a fight breaking out here, as there will be a root going out onto 2. We have Zergling getting some damage out. Flash Raven trying to get into that back lane, but it won't be working out. They're going to have to back off here. And actually, no, going right back in. Doesn't look like it's going to be working out, but Zergling falling so low will be the first kill of the game, going over to the members of FWC esports.
Very nice job. Being able to throw the Blaze out of position and then body block, so the jet propulsion is not going to be a viable escape option. Definitely the better choice opposed to Emergent, who just dwarf toss away. And Flies Raven looks to soar high with the second takedown. Sylvanas caught hanging out, resting on their laurels in the top lane. They dropped the turret down, but that is going to be another big win for FWC.
And just really quickly on a note, I was looking at the turret while that was happening, and someone in Twitch chat had pointed out that the possession, or the Mercenary Queen does affect the turrets, and I actually saw it kind of have the little buff and debuff animation when she died, so it is confirmed. It does give you that ability, but we also do see the possession once again coming out at level 7 for her, so I think it does steal away the opponent's equipment here, but it looks like HeroesHype is taking a ton of damage. Gonna get bursted down, but has that dwarf toss out. Flies Raven not allowing that to happen just yet, but there will be the root onto McNulty. Cleanse goes out. This will be overtime on the Triglav Protector in favor for the members of FWC esports, but they're gonna have to give it over. McNulty gonna be trying to contest it for now, gonna get a little bit of displacement, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to hard engage too well onto this Halorin.
Flies Raven has to hit and run into the fray, saves Croman. Throws Kael'thas towards the back. 85% in Rising, 99 already there for FWC esports, who's looking to get whatever advantage they possibly can. A nice throw into a 3-person knockup with the Earthshaker. Flies Raven out on the flank. McNulty eats so much damage, has no escape. Can they get the 1-for-1 trade? Not so much. Zergling's gonna be able to back away. And after that takedown, with losing their front line, we see Wrong Orc pick up the first protector of the game.
First protector going into this mid lane. They're gonna go ahead and grab the gate here. I wouldn't be too surprised if.
He slipped on a banana peel, man. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he tripped on a banana peel near Flyest Raven and into his sword apparently. But yeah, that will be a nice little pickoff that they got on the side of FWC esports, and so just not having that pressure in bottom lane. But meanwhile, they have taken this Triglav Protector into the top lane, and we'll go ahead, take out the well, took out the gate, and they're getting quite a bit of value with this Triglav starting out, Halorin.
Decker King going for a ride, taking Grandpa's Buick around, rotates down towards the middle portion of the map. 25 seconds still left. Half a level, just a little bit under, whereas in terms of experience, a level 10 will get picked up first for FWC, and that could open up an interesting opportunity. The throw on Talking Trees invites Tigers to turn around and melt off McNulty's face yet again with the minigun. Walks by the Triglav Protector, gonna be okay for the moment. They might be able to come away with this middle fort.
Flyest Raven and Esper trading here with just a couple hundred health each after that engagement, and just one more auto or one more ability between the two could have been the demise. But they have McNulty so low here. The taunt is used, and Zergling is going to go ahead and get that off. But Flyest Raven going to be diving onto the bunker, comes out as well just to deny this. There also will be the clone of Zeratul, and they body into Murd, and so they go ahead and trade 1-for-1 at this point.
Flyest Raven again is going to get value. The clone actions. 2 Zeratul seem to be better than 1 so far. Jet Propulsion just misses both Retzar and Flyest Raven. Talking Trees out in the flank. Throws a grenade onto the back of Malfurion's face. Kel'Thas is going to get blown up also. And that mule is not going to be long for this world, as we're looking at the first quarter of the game being claimed by Wrong Orc.
They already have this pressured and put down. They have the top lane opened up. You see Sylvanas just make that direct rotation. Going to go ahead and just lock this down. Talking Tree's going to go ahead and help take out that side gate. You don't want to provide vision for the enemy team, but they will go ahead and get 2 forts in a row, while Flyest Raven just bothers just Zergling in bottom lane. And I got to say, that bottom lane, you called it. I was not expecting it to be that devastating into the Blaze, but also considering they do have an Abathur hat to kind of buff them up a little bit.
If you're on the side of Wrong Orc, you have to feel very good about how this game's been going. Level 10 is here now, so you have to worry about the added pressure of the clone and some of these other aspects, particularly the taunt. Tranquility was to pick up for Malfurion, so no playmaking potential in terms of silences there to worry about. But you get 2 forts. McNulty dares the dream, wades into the thick of it, and gets sunk.
That is going to be also Decker Kane confirming the kill onto the Kel'Thas. Blaze finishing off the Malfurion there, and so 3-for-0 trade. They have a camp pushing in the top lane. Abathur trying to deep push mid, so they have some time to respond to things. But Flyest Raven using a couple blinks here, getting around. They're just starting to push into bottom. They just say, you know what, Abathur, that lane's pushed up a bit here. Nesper gonna go ahead and use the possession to steal a couple of these minions away, and they'll go ahead and continue to push into this bottom lane while they just get all 3 members back from death.
Sylvanas said we're hiring to those 3 minions, and goes ahead and increases the overall workforce. Jet Propulsion goes out. Zergling's going to be able to sustain themselves for the moment. Sets up a long line of oil to get themselves out of there. Sylvanas again nets some more value. That's going to be all 3 forts taken down. Half a level away from level 13 are the members of FWC. They could very well soak to get on even talent tiers again before the principal elements of this next control point play out. And it could be one of the last real opportunities we see FWC fight on even talent tiers at an even portion of the game.
And Tori going to be taking some damage from Flyest Raven there. They start to break out in this fight. There will be the toss onto Zainhide. Taunt goes out as well. The Phoenix is going to be there as well, but the Sleep Whip to counteract it. Unstoppable is used onto McNulty. They get the friendly toss onto Redder, but it actually goes kind of in the wrong direction. Zainhide actually trying to get some peel here. Going to have to pop that Avatar form. Going to get the Dwarf Toss out. That will be the bunker coming down from the Blaze as well. Flyest Raven going to get chased. Going to get a couple blinks out of there just fine. We still haven't seen Commandeer Odin used yet. Everything else is on cooldown for every single player currently, but McNulty's going to get chased. The toss will go out. Zainhide going to jump over the wall and continue to chase them, and it looks like they're able to get the Garrosh here, and that's a huge pickup for them before this next objective.
Beautiful positioning from Talking Trees. He steps up, gets the grenade to knock Garrosh further out of position. Takedown probably would have happened one way or the other, but just to be able to have that advantage and that added bit of damage shows that he knows how to play this hero. It's a great effect. Level 13 is picked up a hair too late. FWC actually fought pretty well to be down a talent tier that entire time, just did not end up going their way. Blaze is able to rotate up towards the top. And Bahamut, we could very well see a level 16 talent tier advantage with a Triglaw Protector and Sylvanas to lock down structures. That is a lot to deal with.
I'm looking at the minimap right now, and this is pretty terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Just okay, really quickly. This Abathur, thank you, thank you, Axon, thank you for that. That was just. But so you have Sylvanas pushing with the possession as well as the Merc Queen in the top lane. That's 60% buff to mercenaries as well as the items, as we found out tonight. You also have the Triglaw Protector sieging so much. There's no forts left on the map, so they're going to be trying to take this fight while they don't have 16 just yet. The taunt will go out onto Murden, falling extremely low here. The rest of the team is going to be starting to come in. There is Zergling diving in, and that is the Indomitable being used on the on McNulty there. So far they've disengaged from this Flyers. They're even trying to get onto Talking Trees, gonna get that run in, that dash out of there just fine. But overall, 81% sitting on the Triglaw Protector, and they continue to engage on this, Halorin.
They're trying to make the right things happen, but I feel like they're doing it to the wrong people. Murden is not going to be super easy to blow up without the Twilight Dream, without another form of lockdown. Because after the throw, after the taunt, he didn't even have to use Avatar in that entire time. You can find someone like Decker Kane, someone like Tychus or Sylvanas and do the same thing. That's almost a guaranteed takedown. Flyers Raven continues to harass the back line and front, as Zergling's health bar can attest. Turret is in the hands of Kel'Thas, but the Protector is in the hands of Wrong Orc, who have now picked up level 16.
We have Nentori and Murden jumping in the Triglaw Protector once again. We have the Tychus, Zergling, and Nesper all going to be out of the Triglav just to siege up here. You have that Tychus Talking Trees in the Commandeer Odin, which I wouldn't be too surprised to see coming down quite soon. I'm ready to see how they siege into this. They take out the front gate with little effort at all, especially with Sylvanas locking that down. Halorin, though, are they able to get more than just the keep, or is this going to be just a little bit of a push in and then just kind of back off?
It's going to be at least a keep at this rate. The Protector's down to half health. Flyers Raven again continues to try to be that cheeky backline disruption. Is able to distract for a moment, but it's not going to be enough to save this top keep. We're now one takedown, potentially two away from the end of this game. Flyers Raven, full of Monka S. They walk by him. He manages to jump on the Nesper, has the Haunting Waves, hits the double. Gets back towards Talking Trees and the rest of the team. Zeratul trying to do what he can, but it's just not enough right now.
That was awesome play from Flyers Raven to try and get onto Nesper there. But you gotta give credit where credit's due. Those Banshees just to get out of there in the lick of time every single time, just to kind of dodge the Qs and dodge the autos. That was really, really well played just to weave in and out of that. The other thing I want to note too is that they took the top lane keep first, which is a great play because they'll have consistent catapults in that lane. They can feed the bruisers into that lane as well. Now, granted, 16s have been achieved for the members of FWC esports, so this is even talent tiers. But I gotta say, the way that these fights have been going, it doesn't seem like that's really a concern of theirs as they move on to this item camp. A lot of damage going on to Zainhide, but they start to engage on this. The McNulty taking a lot of damage. Bunker will be coming down. Root goes out underneath the bunker. No one falling just yet. The point is being contested currently. Zainhide so low. That will be the healing totem going out as well. Axum falling so low. That will be the clone out of here at this time, and Flyers Raven getting a little bit of damage. Going to have to back off as well. Root goes out into a couple people. McNulty so low, and that will be Garrosh falling in this engagement. Nesper so low as well. We have Talking Trees needing to back off as there was the chain bomb onto a couple people, but Flyers Raven going to get just annoyed by Zainhide, and it's actually going to backfire. They get that counter kill, Halorin.
The one for, oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Flyers Raven is going to get taken down. Zergling looks to step forward. Can he land a jet propulsion? Doesn't even try. Goes in, throws the oil down. FWC was fighting like their lives were on the line, and in the grand scheme of things, it very well could be. Sylvanas, alive and well, locking down his structure after doing what they can. That's going to be a bottom keep all after that 1-for-2 successful trade. They have Zergling's Blaze there for peel if they needed to, so the principal elements of the composition aren't missing. They're going to go for this bottom keep, and with the next control point down there in the bottom lane, this is going to be another nail in the potential coffin of FWC in this best of 3.
Zergling going to get that propulsion out. No big deal. They get that keep, and that's going to be 2 lanes of pressure, and that's Abathur going to need to deal with that while they try and fight on this point. And overall, that was a great play from them. They have this opportunity for both lanes to have catapult pressure. It looks like they're going to be rotating in their mid, work on getting 20s before this objective, as well as grabbing the camps to pressure top lane. I think that's really, as long as they funnel a lot of pressure into the Merc Wave into the top, and with the catapults as well, they're going to need to back off of the objective. So we can already see that happening here. Zainhide going to be going ahead and just scouting out that bush, but it looks like they will be on the support camp. I wonder if they take the engagement off of the camp onto the support for the fight, looks like they can.
One keep is going to shackle the Abathur and limit his mobility options as far as what he can do because he's dealing with the catapults. But 2 is going to be even that much more of a hindrance to the point where the value out of this hero is effectively negated. You're just utilizing everything he can bring to the table just to maintain a status quo. And as level 20s around the corner, Storm tier talents in favor of Wrong Orc, we see FWC walking into a team fight without anything going their way in terms of favor. But we'll see what they can do.
Currently have some poke out between the two. Indomitable will be being used really, really early. Bunker comes out as well, body blocking McNulty from coming too far into this, but a triple root will be going out. The Wailing Arrow is going to be there as well. That is the Phoenix going to be trying to do some work, but Garrosh will be falling regardless of that. Ice block going to be coming out from Redder, but it won't be helping the Kael'thas as they will be getting killed. Malfurion, the next one to go. Camp in top lane pushing, and we have Zeratul maybe trying to get onto one of these members. They're trying to reveal him right there. It looks like they're trying to get some damage out, but it won't be happening. Flyers are even gonna have to back right out. Gonna go ahead and get the spray out as well, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to get at it. Nope, they'll be fine.
Nesper with the covert ops flank. It looked like he was on FWC esports there for a moment.
Oh my god. Ooh. We missed the Abathur kill.
1v1. Flies Raven, that was a principal kill. He was like, I need to get this takedown. I need to get this kill. Unsuccessfully so, almost lost his own bacon for it. Nesper's like, I'm fine with the 1v1. Let's go. 14% left on the core. It's all a formality now. Another ace team fight going in favor of Wrong Orc. This squad knows that a team fight, man. They're ready for it.
They brought it this game. Even with the Sylvanas, the possession, the Merc Queen, that is... Ooh, that was a bit... That was crazy. I do gotta say, like, that Zeratul build, it was actually, a production was actually noting, it's like, it's a kind of interesting Zeratul build. And the thing is, like, usually you can 100 to 0 some of those backline people like Sylvanas instantaneously, but with the double haunting wave, or the Windrunner at level 13, they were able to outmaneuver the Zeratul, who had all those blinks from the level 1 talent, allowing them to have that Shadow Hunter. And so, and then they also had, you know, the baseline ability to go back to the last person they auto attack. So it was just all of that just back and forth, and it was so interesting to watch that. And even how they said interesting themselves when that last little battle was a couple hundred health each, and that wasn't the first time that happened between the two. And I gotta say, that was an awesome series to watch, and congratulations to Wrong Orc. But I still gotta say, FWC esports came out and they played an awesome game, and I really can't wait to see them in the future of the Open Division.
Yeah, Flyers Raven did a really good job on the Zeratul. He was a consistent threat and problem. The Garrosh play, I think it would have been further bolstered by Twilight Dream over Tranquility. I don't remember too many instances where it was like, wow, all right, the added sustain from Tranquility. I see why they went with that over the Twilight Dream. Because, like, if Garrosh throws Murden in the Twilight Dream, that's the difference between that Dwarf Toss happening. That's the difference between a lot of things. Windrunner getting full value, things like that. But Nesper Sylvanas,
terrifying, honestly.
Don't try this at home, kids. Like don't watch this game and be like, all right, Sylvanas, she's meta now. I'm gonna jump into Hero League, because you don't see that kind of Sylvanas play every day. She isn't in the meta for a reason. Nesper can play her well, very well, but I don't want to see Sylvanas in my Hero League game. Like, but Nesper did it.
But Nesper did it, and that's actually one of the things. Like, I mean. I love the smiley faces being spammed in chat, because even production was like, they made a smiley face with the Blaze oil slicks, and the bunker was the nose and everything. They made a nice little and even Twitch chats noticed. Yeah, so that's absolutely awesome. God, that's that threw me so far off. But I can't believe that the Sylvanas is getting that level of value. And what you had said along those lines, like, I remember watching, like, Korea a year ago, like last summer, they were actually pulling out Hammer here and there in a couple games. And then, like, I could tell who had watched those Korean games, because, like, in my own games, I was just like, no, you've never hammered. Like, I would look through the list and it's just like, all right, well, you watch Korea games. Like, of course you're going to start hammering, because everyone's like, well, if Korea can do it and win with it, like, it must be meta. We just haven't figured it out. No, she just needed a rework.